Without tension, there is no pull towards greatness. Tension is important because it's that gap between your vision and your current reality. It's what is going to, again, get you moving. Think of a bowstring. The tighter the string, the more you pull, the more tension, the further and straighter that arrow flies. The first thing that you have to do is you have to identify whether you have an external or an internal motivational, which one of those is going to work for you. Is it quiet personal urgency, or is it deadlines, accountability, and public announcements? Whatever this is, you really have to know yourself. You really got to know thyself, as they used to say. And you need to figure it out, because that's important. Because if you're going to move through life and eventually achieve success, and I think success is a journey, but some people see it as a dollar figure, whatever the case may be, you really need to understand what's going to get you moving. The danger of sharing external pressure. If you share your goals too early, it can create false satisfaction. Your brain gets a dopamine from sharing and talking about these things. That's not real. There's a quote: the moment you tell the world, you've already cashed in some of your energy for validation. And you don't want to do that, because that is literally no action. Again, external pressure can invite opinions, envy, doubt, and these are the energy leaks that are going to slow execution. Exposure before execution can kill momentum. You need to protect your plans until they're strong enough to walk on their own. Now, conversely, you've got internal pressure, and that's self-inflicted accountability. That's a contract between your ambition and your ability. Now, when I keep my goals private, it feels like I've made a personal promise that I must keep. That pressure becomes the fire that drives execution. All right. And internal tension, by the way, is the birthplace of discipline. Right. So if you're feeling uncomfortable at your body and you want to get to the gym, you have to have tension to get you to move forward. The thing about internal tension is you have to be accountable to yourself. That tension you build is sacred. It's your personal self-control that's going to matter most. Now, again, with internal pressure, it's going to carry unique risks. Lack of external accountability. If no one knows your goal, what's the consequence? Also, you can get isolation fatigue. Keeping everything to yourself can become mentally draining and lonely. You can also fall subject to perfectionism. Without outside perspective, you might overthink and under-execute. And you know the most dangerous one of all is invisible failure. You can fail quietly because no one is watching you to hold your word. I'm going to lose 5 pounds before this day. And you don't do that, no one knows. Okay. So accountability is a mirror that keeps you from lying to your potential. Some things you can do. You can create a private accountability circle, maybe just 1 or 2 people who don't need details, just progress checks in. I do this with my dad all the time. He didn't understand my business, but we talk about things, and as we reach the goals, we talk about it. It's really great. You can set non-negotiable deadlines. No one sees them. Treat them as if they're carved in stone. You can use visible markers of progress, whiteboards, journals, trackers, to give your private goal structure. If you can see them and in your face every day, they are really difficult to ignore. You don't necessarily have to announce your goals to the world, but you do have to answer your reflection. You need some key tools in place that are going to keep you accountable to yourself. And by the way, not all pressure is productive. You do need it, but too much is going to break you and too little is going to bore you. So you need to get an adequate pressure. You need to have the self-awareness to determine your style of tension that you need. You need to find your optimal tension zone, the one that is going to force you to move but not burn you out. The greater the tension, the greater the effort. Just got to stay away from the point of diminishing returns. And as you're learning yourself and holding yourself accountable, very simple questions to ask yourself. Do this exercise, because you may know this already. Do I work better in silence or in the spotlight? You need to answer that for yourself. Does accountability motivate me or overwhelm me? Do I need to protect my vision or publicly commit to it? Whatever you do, don't copy someone else's pressure system, design your own. And the last goal that you have for this is to build enough tension to stretch you, but not snap you. People have different opinions on pressure. Sometimes it's good, it isn't bad, but I'm going to tell you, pressure isn't your enemy. It's that invisible coach pushing you toward the next version of yourself. Create your own tension, embrace the strain, and let it pull you towards your potential.